Hey, it's DZ. Sorry, that was a Fat Albert reference. What is going on, everyone? We are back. We are here with the divisional round. It is Saturday night, so I'm going to be covering the games that just transpired, or the game. I'm going to spare the 49ers fans. I do think they deserve it in a tough time like this because, wow, what an absolute beatdown. That game's not even worth talking about, but we had an absolute classic in the AFC earlier on in the day, so I'm going to cover it. And as for my playoff predictions, I didn't expect the Broncos to make the AFC Championship, and fair play. They definitely surprised me. I do think I had the Jaguars actually going to that game. I'm not sure. In terms of the Niners Seahawks, I had the Seahawks going to the NFC Championship game all along, so I guess you can add that. My bracket is kind of busted, so we'll have to see at the end how right I got it. And as for tomorrow, I think I did this in the last video, but just thinking of tomorrow, I got the Patriots-Texans matchup correct, so I'm going to have the Patriots winning that, and then I'm going to have the Rams beating the Bears. Those are my picks, so let's get into this game. Here we go, Bills and Broncos, and my fucking goodness, Josh Allen cannot catch a break. You saw it in the press conference, the emotion, and apparently neither can the Broncos. Broncos reach an AFC title game with a 3-point win over the Bills, but it is all for naught. I mean, obviously Jarrett Stidham still has a chance, but they lose Bo Nixon for the season with an ankle injury. So low-key, this is looking great for Patriots fans. This is looking great for Drake May, who is possibly going to win MVP. The Denver Broncos wrangled their biggest win in a decade from Josh Allen and the Broncos, but suffered an enormous loss in the process. So we will have to see how they deal with that going into the AFC Championship. I saw in press conferences Sean Payton was pretty confident in the QB, and he had a couple good outings with like the Raiders and stuff, but man, this is very unfortunate. They do outlast him in overtime though, nonetheless. Even Bo Nix injury or not, I mean, we still got an all-time classic. This was a fantastic divisional game. I can't see any of the other games beating this weekend. Holy shit. Will let's send the Broncos to an AFC Championship game on the winning field goal and overtime. Jaquan McMillian stole the ball for an epic interception in overtime. Now there's obviously some topic of discussion. Was that actually an interception? I think it was. I do think the receiver never really gained possession. There's a lot of weird-ass Bills fans blaming the refs. And I think this is kind of the problem with the Buffalo franchise, is that they never want to blame anything but everyone else. Josh Allen, I don't want to say he's on the hot seat. He's not going to get knocked off this team anytime soon. He's probably going to be a Bill for his whole career, but god fucking damn, is he not the Aaron Rodgers of this generation? I mean, playoff collapse after playoff collapse. Maybe not to the extent of Aaron Rodgers individually, because this man had 4 fucking turnovers. I mean, Matt Prater sending the game to OT with the 50-yard kick. I knew that was fucking good when that went up. 55 seconds, Bo Nix, crazy strike to Marvin Mims, and just despite an injury, despite not being able to play this next game, Bo Nix put on an absolute show on the biggest game of his career so far. 26 for 46, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a pick, but he somehow had less picks than a former MVP Josh Allen, who had 2 picks. Now, Josh Allen did throw 25 for 39, 283 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But my god, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and 3 snaps, by the way, which is an incredible stat. And holy shit. James Cook had 24 carries for 117 yards, so they were giving him the ball a lot. Dalton Kincaid had a really good game at the tight end position, 6 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown despite the loss. And Marvin Mims, usually you'd see Courtland Sutton, but Courtland Sutton somewhat quiet this game, and Marvin Mims taking over with 8 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. And that fucking defense, you look at Singleton patrolling that defense, oh my fucking goodness, this team is dangerous. Even without Bo Nix going into the AFC Championship, this is going to be a bump in the road for whoever wins, Patriots, Texans. I have the Patriots, but we'll fast forward, see what we got.
One day later.
Well, holy shit, it is Sunday, and we have the last 2 divisional round games, and we are going to get into the Bears and the Rams. And as a Packers fan, I am very sorry, Chicago fans. That is probably one of the more heartbreaking ways you could lose a divisional game. Now, obviously, it doesn't seem to be as heartbreaking as like the Packers losing the 21-3 lead going into the half, but holy shit, the Bears had this in their hands. They had all the momentum going into OT, and Caleb Williams, when it really came down to it, kind of sold the game. I'm not going to hate on him because he threw one of the craziest playoff passes in NFL history, and obviously I did kind of have some like suspicions of that play because I don't know why the fuck the defensive back fell forward, and there were some weird coaching decisions made by Sean McVay to run the ball on 3rd and 10, so kind of looked scripted a little bit. But holy shit, the Rams advanced to an NFC Championship with the walk-off field goal in OT. Now I do think the Seahawks are still going to end up going to the Super Bowl, even though the Rams are probably the tougher fit for them given their division rivals, and the Rams have beat them before. But this is crazy. Caleb Williams, obviously the critical interception, but that's not before an insane miracle touchdown pass against one of the craziest ones. The season was on the line. It was 4th and 4. They had to score this, and they get it done. Kyron Williams was insane this game on the run because honestly Matthew Stafford didn't have a whole lot to say. Now we'll get to the stats in a second, but holy shit. DJ Moore made a crazy one-handed catch. There were all sorts of crazy games. I said that the Bills and the Broncos game couldn't get beat, but I think we got it here. This game was incredible, insanely scrappy, very sloppy play from both teams, but it made for some very entertaining football. And Matthew Stafford threw 258 yards, but really wasn't efficient. So this is going to be kind of concerning going into next week, having to play that Seahawks defense and playing a worse Bears defense. Caleb Williams threw the loss, 23 for 42, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns, but man, 3 picks, that is going to get you in, especially the one in overtime. It was fine all the other ones before, but damn. And they were feeding Kyron Williams the rock. 21 carries for 2 touchdowns. That is absolutely crazy. Colby Parkinson, the one that made the huge snag last week, he had 3 catches for 56 in this one, and Colston Loveland. It looked like kind of a tight end battle here. He pulled out 4 catches for 56 yards, and no doubt this Bears team has a bright future, so keep your heads up, Bears fans, even though my Packers respectfully are coming for you next year. Cam Curl was absolutely phenomenal in this game. The pick he had on Caleb Williams and just his ability to patrol the field as well, I wanted to kind of give him a shout out because, my goodness, he really made that game for the Rams. Well, that is going to do it. I already have the previous game edited, so I'm just going to throw these clips in there edited and like kind of work on all the other stuff. So that is exciting. I'll probably get a little thumbnail here real quick. This was a crazy week of football. Now looking at next week, because we have the conference championships set in stone, and I think these are somewhat easy to pick. Now the Rams-Seahawks game is going to be phenomenal. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll definitely be watching that the next week. There's 2 games on one day. I don't know if I ever remember that, but in terms of Patriots-Broncos, I don't think Jared Stidham has a Nick Foles type of story in him. I think they're going to lose to the Patriots. And Rams-Seahawks, it is somewhat of a toss-up, but I'm going to stay true to my gut and go Seahawks. I do think I originally had the Seahawks and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, by the way, so that's kudos to me, man. I'm kind of a fucking dog for that, but I'll go back and run back the tape and look at my brackets and kind of update you guys on social media. So peace out, everyone. I'm out.